What's up, everybody? It's your boy Banky101 coming at you today with your week in review. And this is that time of the week where we go over everything that's been going on in Call of Duty for the past week. And we actually have a lot of news compared to last week. So we're going to jump into it. Very first thing has to do with YouTube and Call of Duty. So they put out a new rule that some montages out there are probably not going to be able to be monetized. And that is just basically because YouTube holds the right whether to monetize them or not, and basically the montages are of best kills, which is kind of like gruesome, as they would say. So if you're doing montages out there, you got to be careful with that because you might not be getting monetization for them. In Black Ops 3 news, the M1911 is going to be added to Zombie Chronicles. Yes, the zombie community has raised their voice and they're just going to put it back in there because it was in the original games and now it's not. So they're just going to take it and put it back in. And good thing for the Xbox owners, you are now going to be able to pre-order Zombie Chronicles, which comes out on the 15th. So make sure you get your pre-order. I know there was bonuses for the PlayStation 4 when you did your pre-order, so make sure if you're going to probably buy that, just put in your pre-order and get it done with. Infinite Warfare news. There is no news. There was a patch that went out yesterday for the Xeon and a couple of other things. The Xeon has a little better recoil now, so if you're an Xeon fan or you haven't tried it, make sure you go out and try that because the recoil is a little bit better now. Other than that, nothing too crazy. I saw the patch come out while I was playing and I was like, oh crap, maybe we got the new guns, but we did not get the new guns. So hopefully they hold off until after E3. I don't see them putting out new guns during E3 to keep people tuned into their game. I think if they were smart, they would hold on till after E3 and do some sort of in-game event to get everybody prepped for World War II. That would be my guess, but who knows what they're going to do. Now, with E3 next week, we have some news that's being leaked about World War II. So one of the things is that Zombies is going to be based on real events. Now, I took this with a grain of salt. Some people can think that, like, real events or semi-real events, right? Because if you look at the Nazi regime, they had all sorts of crazy experiments and stuff going on. They were trying to do mega weapons, time travel, and doing all sorts of occult things. So those are real life things. You can look them up. That's kind of the stuff that some of the Nazis were into. So if this is Nazi zombies, we could have some crazy stuff if it's based on the real story or semi-real story. Some other cool things that have been leaked over the past week on World War II. Headquarters, as they're calling it. We saw this when they blasted the trailer and stuff like that. They first gave us a first glimpse is where basically there was a bunch of people in like an area which looks like a headquarters. It's pretty much, I think, where you're going to be able to walk around with your character and show your stuff off or your achievements and stuff to other people. Basically where you're going to be sitting before you're actually put into a game. Another cool thing that they're putting in is PvP narrative multiplayer. And this was being developed by Raven Software, and if you don't know, they're the ones that did the Modern Warfare Remastered game, and we don't know too much about this PvP narrative, but it does sound pretty cool, where you're basically playing against other people, but in a narrative mode, which I think could be a lot of fun, but we'll have to wait and see. We're probably going to get more information on that next week at E3. Now, the biggest thing that affects a lot of Call of Duty players is that they announced that World War II is going to have quote-unquote divisions. Well, it's not quote-unquote. They are called them divisions versus you being able to set up your class. I'll put a link with a little more information down in the description, but it looks like these divisions are going to be Airborne, Mountain, Infantry, Armored, Expeditionary Force. And go look in the description for a little bit more than what those mean, but I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy because they're doing something different with these divisions, but you're not going to be able to pick your class, but I still see it as something very similar to what we're already doing, but with a little bit different flavor. And it's also said that these different divisions are going to have certain weapons that are only available in those divisions, and you're going to be able to rank up that division and your character and stuff that way, which I think is pretty cool. I don't think really we have anything to worry about with this World War II. Even there's going to probably be a couple of things that are a little bit different that we're not used to, but they're going to be fun. I can guarantee that they're putting a ton of time into this game to make sure it's very well balanced and very well done because they have the entire Call of Duty community looking at them. Everybody that's playing Black Ops 3 right now, everybody that's playing Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered, even the zombie players, they're all looking at this. This is a huge Call of Duty that's going to be coming out, and they have to do it. Otherwise, they could probably completely ruin the Call of Duty community. So I'm not worried that they're not going to have this balanced, and everything that they put in there is going to be fun. So that's this week's news. Some of the stuff was speculation, a little bit of leakage, but a lot of it's going to be defined next week at E3 when they actually show off the multiplayer. So make sure you tune into my Twitter. Next week's Week in Reviews probably going to be a big one because they're going to be revealing a lot about World War II. So we're probably going to have a lot of news on World War II. So stay tuned for that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you got any questions for me, hit me up in that comments section. Smash that like button, and like always, I'll catch you guys on the next video.